Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, getting started today. Just saw a tiny little bit of activity there, some buying. Actually, block buy went through. Can I pull it up? You see it right there. 3,000 lot before the market opened. Kind of weird. We're gonna pull up Bitcoin here. All right, so let's just look at the volume profiles. And of course, I didn't start Jigsaw before I started Ninja, and so Bitcoin futures are not picking up. Let's fix that. Da, da, da. Oh, come on. Work. Okay, fine. We'll start another one. But let me show you the action first. So yesterday, had a move up. Pretty good trend move up, and we found balance. We're now still within that balance area, although people are still buying. A little weird. I mean, we are in that super quiet week, but we are seeing activity. We're at the top of the range. Obviously, somebody hit an iceberg because there was block buys and they didn't move through it. But with that kind of volume coming through before market, we'll see if we trade. So let's just pull you guys up here. Let's see here. Okay, so here's the link. Bum, bum, bum. There's a 2-year auction and 5-year auction. I don't think those are U.S. Treasuries though. Let's just pull this up and we'll see what we got today. Today's Wednesday. Oh, we have consumer confidence and pending home sales. So there's that. Okay, and then let's pull up your Bitcoin. Let's pull up a bigger chart for Bitcoin here. Yeah. Go. Let's look at Bitfinex. Since it seems to be leading price at the moment. So you can see we did eventually make a higher low, and we had a little bit of a move up. So we are now approaching 50% retracement, which I think is a really critical level, because that is the point at which I would expect for bears to really come in and try to push it down again, is at 50%. So don't get too excited yet, guys. Oh yes, and then I gotta pull up chat here. Yes. There we go. Okay. A little sparse this morning. It's the holidays. Okay, so let's try and fix that Bitcoin chart. I've given up on do the January one. I think that's what they're trading.
IQ set GM.
Hi IQ. Yep, we'll use this one. I'm not going to trade it, so I'm just going to turn off the order and alert columns. I'm going to turn off almost everything except for the main columns. There we go. And I'm going to make it super tiny, like 8. Maybe, can we just, the 7 is the smallest we can go. I'm going 7, okay? Okay, yeah. So you can see the, you know, the black where there's a number, and that's pretty much all we need. Oh yeah, we also have to change the parameters here so that we show 100 levels of market depth. Since I think they show that. Yeah, okay. And the Vista chart, which we will detach. Undock rather. Oops, that is not what I wanted. Whoa. All right. Okay, that should be good, yeah? Look good. Okay, so let's look here. Back to the Bitcoin chart. So I have a couple of levels on here that we don't really need anymore, so let's get rid of those since they're. And I think they have fib retracements, yes. So we'll go from here to here. Okay, so we are already past 50%, aren't we? Make sure it's like on there. Let's try that again. Did I change it so that it doesn't snap?
Rackley3 said obvious scam is obvious cryptopia.co.nz.
Let's see here. By the way, hi Rackley. No. They're saying, hey, give us some Ethereum and we'll give you 20% back.
Rackley3 said if you send him 1 ETH, he will send you back 0.2 ETH 1 day later.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we are past 50%, aren't we? Yes, 50% was down in here. What about from this level right here? What's 50%? Okay. Oh, we're even past that. I'm a little surprised. You know, this is why it's important to have things that are exact so that you can really see. Okay. It's just my imagination. We're not quite there. So where would my level be then? Because it clearly wasn't around 50%. They didn't even care about 50%, did they? I mean, they did make a high here, so it looks like maybe bears might try and make their push here just because there was a pivot. Hi, HTV network. Morning. It's a good morning. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing some volume here, and I'm thinking about going long. Well, we're definitely buying. I want to see what they do at 210 first. Oh, 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 yes, of course. Because I am not connected to my demo account.
Heath said, dang. You aren't kidding.
Yeah. Put an order in.
Fran said took 2 longs, plus 8 ticks UB.
Okay, boys, time to get out of the haze and make a trade, I guess. You know that the little haze that you go into the week between
Fran said on the move
Christmas
today.
and New Year's where you forget who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. Might be catching. I think that we could still go back up to like 123.24. We'll see if they fill me. I don't think I'm gonna get filled. I might chase. We'll see.
Heath said nice Fran.
Yeah, Fran's already made 8 ticks. I mean, that would be you can call that a day right there. $250 on one contract. I think she's trading multiple contracts too. Okay, it did get filled.
Fran said was able to push the 2-tick target scalp. DOM supported the move.
All right, well, let's just sit and watch it, right? I have a waffle. I'm gonna eat my waffle. Dum-bum-bum. Look, there's a lot of targets up above us too. So I'm going to take 8 ticks. Just straight up, if it gets there, I'm just gonna take it. So let's see what happens. like a little bit of iceberging on the move up, but it looks like they're holding it. I mean, I like that. I want to see some orders at 220. Maybe they're not even going to put a big offer back. It's just going to be a slow trickle up. Yeah. Very nice. Very, very nice. Somebody buy 220, please. No? Dang. I mean, ZF looks like it's just getting started. Oh yeah, so I'm seeing here in the Discord. Well, do we have? Yeah, we got like 13 people. So I'll tell you, I'm doing something. Well, blah. Okay, let me start over. Sludge says, no idea about mining to the exchange. I wouldn't. So I have a confession to make. I mine to the exchange. I know this is like super bad. Everybody says, don't keep your Bitcoins on the exchange. Here's why I'm doing it. And you can tell me if I'm stupid or not, okay? Number one, if there is a big downturn, I believe that it could happen very quickly, and I'm concerned that I wouldn't be able to move my coins from my machine to the exchange quickly enough. Number two, the wallets for a lot of coins right now are like practically unusable. Like Ethereum is a complete mess. It's almost unusable. It took me like 2 days to be able to transfer the coins that I mined onto the exchange. So I just moved my scripts to mine to the exchange. What do you think? Am I crazy? Oh, Adri says he agrees. So there's at least one person with me. But I'm not planning on hodl forever, right? Now, the caveat to that is I think that if you're gonna do that, that you want to be on a couple of different exchanges. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Not too scared of another Mount Gox. Yeah, well, I mean, the question is, here's the thing. Mount Gox was definitely a special thing, right? Because they were like literally buying with nothing. Like they were it was like a total fraud, right? And I'm not sure if that's ever going to happen again. But that doesn't mean that an exchange can't like disappear, you know? Like you can have your coins on the exchange and you want to sell it, and then it's just a high volume time and you just can't trade at that moment, right? That's a risk. Um, but I don't know what risks the exchanges are actually taking on themselves. You know, they hold a certain amount of Bitcoin, and if the value of that Bitcoin goes down, are they in trouble? I don't know. It seems like with the way that Tether works and everything, that is a valid concern, though, because you have the exchanges that probably hold a significant amount of Tether, especially Bitfinex, right? And if the value of Tether dips, has Bitfinex going to keep running? probably not, in my opinion. Well, we are unfinished here, and we're unfinished in the 30 years, so I would expect us to continue going up, but the volume doesn't look terribly positive at the moment. At the level 2 is looking bad for us. Oh, they're holding it though. They're iceberging in the 5 year. And they're doing it in the 10 year too. They just bought 3,000. A lot of people looking to buy it there. It's funny, the treasuries are more interesting than Bitcoin right now, though. Look at the numbers of twos and threes that are being put up now, though. I mean, the liquidity is coming into Bitcoin, isn't it? Okay, the 30 years kind of ranging here. HTV Network says if Coinbase GDAX decides to run with people's money, I'll run across the street into their office and punch some people. Okay, good. So HTV has our backs covered if you have anything at GDAX. I'm planning when I um, do my next round of buying here. We haven't quite gotten to where we want to be on my oscillator, but when I do my next round of buying, I think I'm gonna buy Bitcoin Cash on GDAX. So, some Bitcoin Cash, and I think I want some Ryblox. I mean, I don't like that Ryblox is already at 10 right now, but what are you gonna do? And that one's there's only a few exchanges that trade it, so crazy, right?
Block buy.
Okay, wow, that was a really bullish sequence of actions there. So they had a 7K. I mean, we hit an iceberg. They started selling it. They hit an even bigger iceberg, 7K. Then they decided to push up, and immediately when we pushed up, not only did we get 1,000 on the bid, but we got 100 people bought. And then they bought it up again, and we got a block buy. And I don't think that block buy was the kind that pegs the market. I mean, like, that's the second block buy that we've seen today so far, right? And we're still only within the first 30 minutes. Eric Cages asks if this is a TST account. No, it is not. So I use AMP Futures. I'm placing orders on my demo account right now. And what we're doing, the reason I'm doing that is because I did the combine a couple of times, and I was actually break even profitable for the most part, but I would still hit the drawdown limit. Like, I would make $2,000 and then I would lose $2,000. And not only that, but it seems like I'm a lot better at trading ZN, and it's just really hard when you factor in the fees to pass the combine in CN. So I decided what I was going to do was just switch over to ZN and trade my own account, which I can do. And but first, before I do that, because I have been trading ZB, I wanted to go back to ZN for a month or two and make sure that my performance was still good. So on December, so far I'm doing good. I've got like 52% win rate, and I've made 500 before commissions. So yeah. So hopefully I'm saving up. I have a lot of things I want to save up for, but we're saving up for the account. So hopefully I should be able to trade my account before the end of February. So right now I just have the minimum deposit in there. So yeah, probably more information than you wanted, but there you go. And here again, 6Ks both ways. I'd say that's bullish. We might come back down a little bit, but overall it's bullish because people are rotating through. Okay, so they are auctioning off 5 years soon. I think that's US. Yeah, the US Treasuries are doing 2-year floating rate notes and the 5-year T-notes. Let's see here. John just put through his email. Let's see what he thinks. He thinks a test of the prior week's midpoint at 152.11. Oh, that's way up there. And we have a seller single print above the market to deal with at 152.06. Okay. I like that, even though 06 is important. So that's a single print. And I'm just going to say it's like a mid. I've never looked at midpoint before, so I don't know how reliable that one is. But John's very good with the. If you guys don't subscribe to the GPI trading for treasuries, I would totally encourage it. John Bottomley puts out notes every morning about the levels he's looking at in ZB, and they are gold. He's a much better trader than myself, I think. Eric Cages, yeah, you can be profitable yet still lose money when you consider the commissions. They can really add up, especially with the yen. Yeah, well, and it's not even that, because I am making money, but it's like when you add it all up, it's like I made like what, $300 this month in the month of December. Now, granted, it's I miss out on half of the month, but even if I was doing a $1,500 combine, that's like 4 or 5 months that I could have just put, um, like let's just say that it was 4 months, right? That's like $600 that I just could have put into an account and traded myself, right? John Bottomley, let me pull up the link here. Did they GPITradingGroup.com? Yep, here it is, right here, GPITradingGroup.com, and then I think there's like the subscribe is I think where you do it. No, that's not where it is. Sign up. Yeah, you just sign up here, and he'll send you the email every morning. That's again, it's GPITradingGroup.com. He also runs a trading room that you can join. If you look back on some of my older videos, you can hear him talking. I talked to him, and I was first started streaming. I was in their room, but it was a pay thing, and I talk too much, so I don't go into the room anymore. My futures trading vlog, the worst about TST is you trade on sim, really fake illusion. Yeah, I mean, the rhythmic simulator, well, the TST simulator, I guess their simulator is slightly different from the rhythmic one, and it has slightly different fill rules. It lies totally. And you'll point it out in the video all the time and be like, I don't think I would have gotten a fill there. So that's, one less tick that I would have gotten here and there. Because what it does is it does a, how do I say this? When this changes, like, it's just kind of fidgeting around, when they're just taking off 300 contracts or so and putting them back on. There's two ways of saying what just happened there. One is that you could say all of the contracts were contracts that were ahead of you in line, and all of the contracts were behind you in line. And the truth is that the ones that are being added and taken off are usually at the very end, and so very often they're behind you in line. So you'll find, I think, an accurate fill is what it says here in Jigsaw. Like, because that's like the worst case scenario. But that's not what Rhythmic does. They want you to think that you'd get filled, and they want you to think that you're good so that you'll buy their service. So yeah, you do get fake fills on both of the Rhythmic simulator and the TST simulator. And sometimes even the CQG one, although I think the CQG one is the most accurate. Eric Cages also said, are you looking at spreads? Yes, I am. So obviously I look here, we can see that we're pretty much equal right now. This is, you would expect for each one that this goes up, that this would go up 2, and this would go up 6. Is it 6? This is like 2. This is 1, 2, 4. So yeah. So let's say we ticked from here to here. This one went up 2, and this one went up 4. So they're not spreading at the moment. Let's reset it. But I also, just to kind of keep an eye on things, I have these charts on the other screen that you don't necessarily need to see. I mean, everything that you need to see is here, but these just kind of keep me in check to say, okay, it seems like there's more buying than selling. We can see the cumulative delta. It seems like there's some spreading. We can look at the knob spread and we can see what it's actually doing. So you can see, I'll show you the knob spread is pretty flat, but ZF is coming down a bit. So some flattening on the shorter end of the curve. And that basically means that the ZN went up a lot more than ZF did. Yeah, my futures trading VLX's psychology is different when you get on real money. Exactly. And that's why, I decided that for me the best thing was to just get to live as quickly as possible. And that's also part of why I switched back to CN, because not only do I seem to have a much better win rate on it, like I'm trading like 50% trades right now after a month, and in ZB I was often, you know, 35 around there. I could still be profitable at 35% win rate, but you just get cut a lot more often. So seems like this order flow trading works a little bit better in ZN when it just takes a lot more to move it up a tick. Plus, I think that's what people would rather see is live trades. So we're getting there. That's also why we have the Patreon. So I didn't want it to be like, oh, let's just beg people for money. So I'm providing a service through Patreon by posting my Bitcoin charts, and I think that they're actually worth a lot. Just the more and more I look at these, the more I'm like, oh my gosh, these are significant. But yeah. So the stuff that goes into Patreon we're going to use to build the account up faster. 500,000 in Bitcoin. Yeah. Well, so I haven't run it today. I forgot. Let's run that. Let's generate the charts. I like to show you guys on the stream what they're saying because, just so you can see how valuable it is. So we're A5 on the Bitcoin valuation right now. Dun, dun, dun. We just open up. It's the 27th. So here they are. You can kind of see they're still they look like they're still coming down. So where's BCH? This is the one I'm most interested in. Okay, so it's ranging. I'm hoping that BCH goes back down. I'm hoping. If we could buy it back down there, that would have been great. I wanted to buy it back down there, but I just didn't have any money at the moment. Or at the time. Was saving up for Christmas. Here, Litecoin continues to come down a little bit, and that's another one that I'm looking could be a buy here soon. So, yeah, I think it's a valuable chart. Also, HTV was asking, what are we looking at when we're looking at that chart? I'll just pull it up again here, the big Bitcoin one. What we're looking at, the main input into this is the daily transaction volume. So that is like every time that there's a transaction on chain, we look at what the price in dollars was at the time, and we try and estimate how much money is going through Bitcoin.
Heath said good OL3 tick pullbacks face with rolling eyes.
Right? It's kind of given me that, like, I don't know if I'm actually going to go higher or not look. Anyway, so it's mainly transaction value. And then, I have a complicated formula where I look at it over a certain period of time and how many Bitcoins there actually are out there and so on and so forth. But you can see here, it's pretty good at detecting tops. Every time that it gets above this 100, you're overbought. And when you get to this 150, it's like, the end of the world. Now here in Bitcoin, it looks like we are supposed to go back down to 50. So we'll see if that actually happens. Right now, Bitcoin doesn't look like it's going to do that, does it? Where's our, right now, it looks like they finished the sell-off and they want to go and make a new high. But maybe that pivot was the end of that. I don't know. We'll see. Where did my, there we go. That's what we wanted. Let's see the futures.
Brand said
really
didn't get
anything
in this last push up.
Okay, well, we have gotten 4 ticks, so let's move our stop up to break even. That's important. You don't want, at the very least, you don't want a winning trade to turn into a losing trade, right? Now, ZB here actually took a hit. I don't know, what do you guys think about that? Right there.
Brand said that GovTrader was spot on. I remember he said he was buying on the 26th.
GovTrader, when was that? Was that yesterday? Let's look back in the history. Where are you talking about? I don't want what? Question mark?
Brand said remember last week I mentioned the guy on Twitter, said that the auction's end of deck would be a buying opportunity. Brand said twitter.com. Brand said this guy.
Oh, I think he's saying that they want to buy for the beginning of the year.
Heath said UB at R1.
Is that what the deal is?
Slight bounce off of it. Fran said UB really moves well, lots of room to scalp.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the trades. I would like to try ZUB at one point. Um, but obviously that's, I can only focus on one thing at a time. But it seems like, just from listening to Fran's experience with it, that a lot of the trades that, I got a really good entry, but then it just never quite hit my target, and then it'd come back and I'd break even or lose one or two on it. It seems like those ones work out a lot more often on UB because it moves more. Yeah, we'll follow this guy, GovTrader. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that Anthony Crudelli was interviewing futures traders
Heath said
71.
Fran, are you still using your delta method on UB?
So I'll definitely be looking forward to that. Always
Fran said yes.
one of my favorites.
Heath said the 15-second thing. Fran said delta bars. Fran said yes. Fran said 15-second.
Oh, it uses 15-second delta bars?
Heath said nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll say one of the best pieces, um, things I learned was listening to Futures Trader 71 talk about price risk versus information risk. And, the point being that sometimes I don't really know, like when we were back here at 110, where did I buy it? I bought it at 210. So when we were here, I didn't really know. It was kind of like, well, if we can get through 215, then it could go. And that is the price risk, right? Or sorry, that's the information risk. Is I want to wait for more information. Once I'm through 215, um, I can be more sure. But you lose a better price, and so I took the better price. And because of that, now if this comes back down, I'll probably still be able to pull 2 ticks out of it, as opposed to breaking even if I had gotten in at 215 or 220. Really great. It's on Futures.io. It's a really great webinar. I really like Futures Trader 71, although I don't understand the way that he trades ES with order flow, and the way that he uses that to time his entries and stuff makes no sense to me at all. I would love to see him just trade Treasury futures for a day. Eric Cages, I'm John Grady's love child. Ask me anything. So you have done his course then, right? The no PS day trading. That's the best trading education out there. Don't buy anything else but that. Best value, best value in trading. That and the Big Mike's forum subscription, because you get all of those indicators. Josh Nuno says, "What's your basis on Xena? I don't understand what that means." Oh, where are you long from? I'm long from 123 to 10. You can see it's the number on the DOM that's blue. Plus I have my stop order sitting there too. See, so if we fall out of this zipper to the downside, which is possible, then, you know, we're going to be taking 220 or 215. And if we were long from 220 or 215, right? Yeah, I think that we're going to go a lot further than we have. Well, John, remember, but John's targets were 152.06. And that was an unfinished auction here. Unfinished auction meaning that there was buys and sells at the upper price, right? You see like that 8, that means somebody sold it. Finished auction would be more like, well, I mean this one, but we've touched 23 halves many times, but what it will look like is this, where you can only see like a few traded here and nothing ever traded here, nothing ever sold. But so you can see 152.06, nothing ever, nobody ever touched that. They stopped it before it hit the single print. Oh, Air Cages says, I remember your Futures IO thread. It was a competition of some sort. That's when I subscribed. Yeah, that's when they did. The reason I started recording the videos was because, I mean, I was kind of recording them for my own anyways, but they had a contest. It was a journal contest, and like the top 2 most voted ones got like I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a free combine or something like that. Or no, it was a Ninja Trader 8 license. That's what it was. And so I did it, and the thing was is that like only 2 people on the forum actually started videos, and I was the only one that actually had like full video of the whole trading session. So Big Mike was like, well, this isn't really a fair competition. So I didn't win anything. Sucks because I would love to have a Ninja Trader 8 license, but I kept doing it, and it's been great. I mean, we're up to 1,000 subscribers now on the YouTube. I that's just so cool that there's that many people. You know, I always thought that I was the only person in the world that cared about trading. Even when you go on Futures IO, sometimes it feels a little lonely because, um, like when you look in the journals, you'll just see a chart and you're like, well, I don't. Your chart doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what you're trying to say here, right? And maybe there's some general discussion, but like because I started this YouTube channel and we got the Discord going, and now, you know, I can come in here and I can see Keith and Fran saying, okay, they're also trading this instrument. What are they seeing? Well, Fran is moved over to UB and she's found that she's able to get those short scalps, and she's using um, just delta on a 15-second chart is one of her main indicators. Like that's way super helpful. And I can look at what other people do at exactly the same spot as I'm doing it and learn from that. So it's been a great experience. Sometimes nobody shows up and you automatically win. Yeah. Well, it is a little interesting, isn't it, that I'm the only, well, at least the first person to sit down and say, "Hey, I'm just going to stream my whole trading session." I guess most people, they when they get to that point and they want to do that, they start a trading room, but I'm not a huge fan of trading rooms that you pay for. I just don't think they're worth the money. And I actually think that the trading room, I've come to the conclusion that we have a trading room, and you know you're all following one guy, that's the person that you're paying to follow and be in the trading room for. It kind of almost messes with your trading. Like if they go long and you don't think it's a good idea, you're gonna go short against them because they're clearly a better trader than you, right? Whereas with me, I'm not saying it's like a trading room and like I'm the best trader. I'm just saying I trade and I'm going to stream the whole thing. And if I suck, I suck. And you can just be along for the ride as I develop, you know? And then when we get in a room together, we're just learning from each other, yeah? That's how we'll look at it. Well, but it seems a little balanced here. Problem is, there's no probability here. It's 50-50 if it breaks through this area or not. I had to pay good money to follow a losing trader and just fade everything. Well, yeah, I wish, but the problem is that if you fade, you might lose too. This is one of the more interesting things I learned when I was trading NinjaTrader indicators. And I would do it. I would say, okay, here's something that I see. Let's make a strategy and see if there's something to it. So one of the strategies that I had, I'll just show you here. It was I said, okay, these zipper things show up a lot. And I was doing it in ZB, but they show up a lot. What happens if I say these zippers tend to break out to the upside more often? So I found a way to say, okay, if for the past 5 bars range is only 2, then we look at, we keep going back until we see what it was before that, and then we just go the opposite way, right? So we would go, okay, this one's long. And then we can see what the probability and how far they tend to go and everything like that. And when I first did it, it wasn't profitable. It was like 50-50, and when it went against you, it was like really bad. And I was like, what the heck? That doesn't, it was just a very poor strategy. So I thought, well, I mean, if it's losing, then let's just like do the exact opposite of that, right? And it turned out that when we did the exact opposite of that, it was pretty much the same result. It was the same probability and the same average loss and average win and everything. So it actually had more to do with just the fact that, when you buy, you're already down a tick. And then, it has to go up a tick just for you to break even, and then another tick for you to win. And so for you to make 4 ticks, you're actually talking about it ticking up like 6 times versus ticking down 4 times. What's more probable to happen? Probably it's going to go down, and that's why your probability ends up being 30-40%. So really, the problem is that how much it moves against you. That's also why if you can trade, I guess it looks like we're breaking down out of this. No? We're going to trade it? Okay. A little odd. I think they may still come back down on us though. Anyways, if you can trade with like a more market profile and have a larger stop, then you can have a better probability, because it's all of this little, shaking around, like this spot right here. That's what kills you. This market maker has a much bigger stop than you do, and he can take advantage of that. It's actually really hard to be consistently unprofitable. Um, well, yeah, I mean, I would say, consistently unprofitable, like over a year period, you would lose every month. That's true. Eventually, you get lucky. But it depends on the instrument. I've noticed that, well, not just that I've noticed, but treasuries tend to be a lot more consistent, right? Like when I first started trading, I would lose in treasuries every day. Sometimes very, very badly, in fact. Whereas oil, I did oil before that, and I actually did really, really great in oil for like a week, and then lost it all in a day. was like, what the heck? But still, on average, if you just picked randomly, right, you're going to average around 30 to 40%, depending on what you set your stops and so forth as. So to scalp and hit 50% is actually pretty good. Be over 50%, you're amazing, or you're not scalping. That's what we were talking about last week, because we saw some combines and some other traders that were scalping treasuries, and they showed some stats, and they were like really, really high probability stats. And I'm like, whoa, like they were like 80%. How are they getting 80%? Well, it turns out that they were averaging out their losers. So eventually that doesn't work, and then they're screwed and they have a day that's super, super bad. One tick profit target, 4 tick stop loss. There you go. I mean, you can do that. That works. My wife, when she started trading oil, that's basically what she did. Is she said, I want to make 5 ticks, and she would let it go way against her, and not not exit, because she didn't even know how to set a stop loss. And she won like 80% of the time doing that, because it was a range day. And I'm like, holy crap. She made like $1,000 just ticking 5 ticks at a time in oil. But it was like she picked the one day that was like the right strategy. Like oil is almost never like that. And what are the chances that the first day that she decides to start trading it, that's what happened? But she did a good job. She's got some. I think she has some more of a natural inclination than she realizes, but she just doesn't quite have enough time right now to really focus on it like I think she would like to. Plus, she can't trade in the morning because she's getting the kids ready for school. So she was trading like a little bit later, and then oil is the only instrument you can really do, and oil is kind of a monster, and still. I don't like the look of this 6J chart. But I do like that they tried to trade out of the zipper and we got pushed back in. So that's good. Oh yeah, Fran in the channel said, but it's putting it all together, jigsaw, delta, etc. on low volume chop days. It doesn't give much information. She's talking about her 15-second deltas. Yeah, admit it, your wife is a better trader than you, as all wives are. I truly believe that women are better at trading than men. Because they approach the risk differently, right? Guys, they got the competitive edge on them, and they say, okay, I want to win, I want to make money, and that can be good because that means that you'll get the really good trades and you can push it when you're winning.
Fran said 6J has been all over the place.
But in the long run, it's better to have a
Fran said haven't traded it in a while.
What's the word I want to use? Sound risk management is what wins out in the end, and that comes to women more naturally. It just does, and it's chemical. It's a testosterone thing. In trading, everything works sometimes and nothing works always. Yeah. So she's done like, I think she did, my wife did like 5 days, and she, you know, she did realize, okay, that particular strategy doesn't work all the time, and she did have one day where she lost a little bit, not a huge bad day, but that was the point where she was like, okay, I need to figure out how to put in stop losses and everything like that. Which, and she was using the Ninja Trader Jom, which is ugh, yucky, right? Now that we have the bridge, she could put orders in on CL, and we could have them go to a different account. So we'll try and get her on that here in a bit. Maybe I'll even force her to stream it. You guys can come in here and walk her through it. Trade oil, it'd be fun. Yeah, in trading, everything works sometimes and nothing works always. That's a really great way of putting it. I think the thing that's interesting about different products, though, air cages, I'm short BTC from about 2,000. You mean 20,000? Is there supposed to be another zero on that? And if you did catch that, how did you actually short it? Do you use a margin account at what's it? Where is it that I'm having a hard time. What is it that Rackley's been using? It does look like maybe it's going to go down again, but the future sure seemed to be uninteresting, let's say. Like, I'm not even, is anybody even bought recently? Okay, so there was a 2 and there was a 1 in there in the middle somewhere. Yeah, it hasn't been. Let's increase the look back. Okay. So we have been, there hasn't been a trade in the Bitcoin futures now for, 7:21, 10 minutes. Am I really only showing 10 minutes? I need to zoom way out. Let's go back to like 30. There we go. Look at all these people looking to get filled now. We're like to 4,000s. And it was only like 3,500 when I put that order in there, because it was 8 ticks away, and because that's just where the big order was. And now look, it's moved. So there's a lot of people looking to get filled. This, I think, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is the last chance push. If they push and they do not make it, and we tick back down to 22 half, 23, I'm going to get out at 23. Because that's a 11 tick zipper in ZN. Has an 80% chance of reversing for 1 tick. 60% for 2 ticks. Yeah. Fran says she does better focusing on a single instrument right now. The UB is working well. Definitely. There's definitely some strategies where you can say, okay, which future is doing this today, and that's the one that I'm going to trade. But you can tell, frankly, when ZN is having a big move and participants have come in that aren't normally trading ZN, and it acts differently, and you can see that some of the guys that don't trade it frequently are getting screwed. I think knowing your instrument is really important. Well, let's not say really important. Let's say knowing your instrument is a big edge. It's a significant edge. Come on, let's get some buying here. Let's break out of this. ZF is setting up a level break now. Yeah. So that 3,700 right below the high of the day could be somebody setting up for a loading up for a break of 116. They might, pull their orders and hit it. Maybe not even pull their orders. I think that they're just gonna, the guy is just gonna wait for it to tick up, and then he'll start hitting this. You can kind of see the guys in ZN are anticipating it too, because when they thought that it was about to break through there, they bought a little bit more. And now that it's iceberging, there's a couple more sells here. It's really hard to say exactly what it's going to do. So remember, level break is only a 50% trade unless we're strongly trending. Okay. So they immediately sold that when they tried to push back up. And here. Equities opened up, look a little weak. That might be driving us to. Let me just show you the chart here really quick. See if that all of a sudden starts buying and makes a push towards the high, I would expect us to fall down a little bit. We never actually tick down. If we tick down in ZN, I have to get out. Okay. Bitcoin's taking a bit of a beating now here, isn't it? The futures traders haven't started shorting it yet, though. Oof, look at that. Another, see how it was here? And then it went down to here. And I'd hate to be long into that one. That's why I'm not trading Bitcoin futures yet, even if I had to. Okay, hold the boat. 24 just went off for there for a second. That doesn't seem like they're quite ready yet. I would be seeing more level 2 changes. It's still just kind of flicking around just with the base robots. How many are we going to trade here? I mean, usually when there's an iceberg, the 5-year breaks out, but not always. Okay, so looking a little stronger. Man, Bitcoin is taking a beating. Is it showing up here? What about GDAX? No, which one's selling it? Huh. Let's use GDAX. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know, guys. That doesn't look good for the bitcoins. Look, somebody tried buying it and immediately got rid of it. Okay, there you go. Very nice. The ZB still has to beat out this 06. Same thing happened across the board. ETH still not making a new lower low compared to BTC and Litecoin. So remember, on single prints, the play on the single print is in ZB, they usually reject it the first time that they touch it. So you'll see they'll touch 6 and they'll immediately sell it back down to, push it back down to 0405. Not always, but I'm going to say like 80% of the time they'll reject 06 on the first touch. That's why people are reluctant to buy it here. Okay. So even for them to put up, okay, there you go. So did you see how as soon as they touched it, the 135 immediately sold? Doesn't look like whoever's sitting there at 06 is all that adamant about it, though, does it? Pretty good chance that we go up to John's 11 now, I think. Here are the singles I have in ZB on a weekly TPO. Oh, so he has actually a couple of low volume node areas. So yeah, the 11, it's 11 to 14, so it might get sucked up a little higher than 11. And then if it gets past that, there's another one way up here at 153, but I don't think that we're going to get quite that far today. Yep, now notice that we haven't broken through in ZF yet, though. 80 math. A test of the support at 15,000 could be good for the continuation of the uptrend in CB. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see that. So if we look at it here, I mean, it kind of looks like 1500 is actually the area that we've been rotating around, possibly. But you're right that we made a higher high here, kind of. Let's go back to Bitfinex rather. Yeah.
Block buy.
Ooh, there's your block. Wow. 4K right there. Wow, wow, wow. And they bought through that. Okay, so it was a level break. Okay, so air cages, now you can say that you totally called that one. Look, good call though, right? That's great. Look at the buying there. We have now seen 3 block buys. Let's reset it. That 48 built up real fast too. It's interesting that that's sitting there. I mean, those people really do want to buy it. They think they're going to get filled. And Bitcoin takes another little step down. Where's this chart? Okay. Now I'm just looking here in the Bitcoin room in the Discord, and Rackley posted a chart saying triple top followed by head and shoulders. That's a bullish, right? I don't know. I don't know. Certainly doesn't look good at the moment, though, does it? That selling. It's an aggressive sell. In an odd spot, too. I really thought that we were just going to kind of maybe trend higher or do nothing until New Year's. Not get a second leg of selling. is also posting something in IOTA. Is IOTA falling down today? Is that what it is? Let's look. Coin market cap. %12 in the past 24 hours. I don't know. These two, what's the best? Dentacoin. What the hell is Up 110%. Let's look at that. BitConnect is up again. Ryblox is up. If you guys could stop buying Ryblox, that would be great. I would prefer a better entry price than $10. Man. Okay, what is it? Is this like a coin for dentists or something? Dentacoin? It is. The blockchain solution for the global dental industry. Okay. Well, that's interesting. You're gonna slowly, it's gonna take a bit to slowly eat through this. I have to say, where did the there's the end. Here it is. Okay, so it was at 24. So not only did he buy 3,500, but then he put several thousand on the bid. That's a little fishy, to be honest. They've got to be careful because this could be one of those where he pulls. We'll move our stop up again. Okay. Why is there only 700 bid at 235? Do we have news coming up? Is that what it is? Yes, we have CBD consumer confidence. I think I have enough profit that I can safely sit through this one, even though there is a bit of pull in there. We'll see. We'll see what the number comes out as. Should have turned on the squawk. It's okay. Okay, so 122 versus 128. Pending home sales 0.2 versus negative 0.4. Well, that's good. The pending home sales is good, but the consumer confidence number is very I think that whatever it is, underlying business dynamics that's been pushing us up this morning is probably more significant. It's like they just absorbed 6K. Okay, we're gonna take it. It might just blow right through here, but I just don't like the look. That could be a level break setup, but if it is, I want to just let them do it without us. See, that's a bad tick right there. I think I made the right choice. Yep, so I was out. +6. Thank you, Balo. Balo was just saying good trading. One trade, 6 ticks. I think that might be it for today. We'll watch until we'll watch for another hour, but I don't know if I'll take any trades in that hour. super interested in what's happening in Bitcoin right now. So now you can see this is where we were like, oh, nothing's really happening. It dipped a bunch. Now we're seeing futures traders are selling it. Only now. Isn't that weird? That only now are we actually seeing them sell it. Let's just take a peek in here with our BTC guys. Do they see anything happening? Hmm. Yeah, I don't see them posting anything too big. Okay, we did hold 23.5 in the note. So it would maybe be safe to try for a long again. Da, da, da. You guys can still, you can hear me just fine all the way back here, yeah? Maybe I need to get it a little closer. Put it on the edge of the table like that. I really need to get one of those like booms so I can put it like right next to my face. That way you can always hear me clearly like this. Oh, looks like they did tick up to it. So if I had held on to my target, let's see what I have gotten filled. We were like 38 in line, right? So we want to see 38 trade there first. Looks like it's looking better. Adri Math is saying the support seems to hold in Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a little too early to say for sure. I'd say, at least here in the futures, they're kind of not sure. Let's look at here in GDAX or Bitfinex. I don't know. It was a pretty aggressive selling that we saw there. Well, they're sure putting the gas pedal on it. Actually seems like it's taking a lot to convince it to go. Okay, so Still not entirely sure I would have gotten filled there yet. This would be one of those areas where I think that the rhythmic simulator would tell me I'm filled when I wouldn't. Okay, so there's the 11. So we could still see 14 and 16 in CB over here. That was the sell that we got out on. So we actually sold, and now we've been pushing up on not a ton of delta. Okay, so now it would have been filled. Definitely right there. Okay, so we'll make a note there. I think that I made the right choice selling there off of this one. But I probably should have bought back in again. Now, how could I have seen that one? There's no way he could have seen that one. You see, you can barely even make out where it was down for just 2 bars there. Here, but let's see it in. See right here. So we made this. I sold here. Sold at 240. It went down 2 ticks. I could have bought it at 23. Oh no, not even. Only one traded at 23, so I could have bought it at 23.5. And made 3 more ticks. It was a fast trade. I don't know if it's worth it. I'm still okay with where I got out at. Now, of course, if it goes like way far, then I'm going to be mad, but we can always get back in if we need to. See a bit of flattening too. In the spread, it looks like it wants to flatten some more. Oh, hey, John, it was, Okay, so they did trade 25 half. Now we're making another one of these zippers. Hmm. Again, you keep going. No, it's starting to look a little weak. I think when you get so many icebergs up here at the top, it's kind of questionable if it can really keep going. We need to have some sort of like pullback before we could like really bust through. Could totally be wrong though. Okay, that last tick down, and now they're putting the biggie at 24 half is not good. You figure out a way to make these candles over in the Vista chart more visible. You can barely see it. And also just saying we bounced the 50 moving average on the 1 hour and almost the 4 hour. Dipping inside the cloud. Ishimoku cloud. Help me out. I've never used the Ishimoku cloud. Do you guys find the Ishimoku cloud useful? Top of the cloud tends to be a support. Okay. I think this chart has that, doesn't it? Let's look. Boom, 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 boom. Ishimoku cloud. Okay. Yes, I see. So we are at support. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I see. Okay. When hour is actually going to turn bullish. Okay, well, we'll see. The futures have definitely flattened out a little bit. I mean, they were looking all over the place. Now where is it? This one. All over the place. But that doesn't mean, I mean, I would expect it to bounce here. Question is, does it make a lower low again? Could do anything. Pot says Ishimoku cloud is very useful for discerning the opening of fishing season. There you go. I wonder if they're going to go for that 16 in ZB. Let's see here. John is in our Discord now. He's saying 152.13 is a 60% extension of the Boxing Day run-up. Looking at prior supply in the 152.15 to 152.16 area. Okay. Let's see what John thinks about why we're buying here. We saw, fix that. Yeah. I don't know, it looks like in Bitcoin, EG is turning out right so far. They did move another slight leg higher, but there's still people selling it. I'm starting to notice that some of the sometimes the Bitcoin futures call it really well, but they're usually late. They're late and then they end up going the wrong way. I'm going to guess that overall people have lost money on Bitcoin futures. Well, I guess it's supposed to be zero sum, right? But there are definitely some people that lost a lot of money in Bitcoin futures. The market orders are losing. So they're late. All right, here Keith was pointing out that this is kind of a measured move. That's a good point. So we went up yesterday and then we're doing it again today. That's a good chart. Have you taken any today, Keith? Bots that sell off on December 19th was reportedly an option trade. CME suggested it was a very large bet in the tens of millions at the CBOE. Yeah. That day, well, what, last Thursday? Because I didn't take any on Friday, right? I have to look back. I don't think I took any trades on Friday. But the Wednesday, Thursday was interesting. Oh, here's what has he got? Wow. Trader turns 60 million profit in sharpest bond sell-off in 2017. One bond trader made a very timely bet in his sell-off and is about 60 million in the black because of it. Wow. Someone bought 50,000 put options on bond futures at an average price of 104 ticks, according to a trader familiar with the transaction, wagering that the price of long-dated treasuries would fall as 30-year yields increased. Yeah. So that's interesting because I knew that somebody was selling the 30 for sure, but I did not know that they were doing it with options. Well, today they've been correcting and flattening, so here we are at the high again. They're going to take another step up. Yeah, John says they left a number of single prints above the market during that sell-off on the 19th, the day before this story broke, which is, for some reason my chart is screwed up. Sometimes Ninja Trader does that, but he's talking about this day. Oh yeah. I wonder why it did that. we're talking about these days. So are we going to retrace those all the way up to 153.04? Now let me undeafen the voice to chat here. There we go. Sorry, text to voice.
Bot said next one above us is 152.25 but expect the usual fun and games at 152.16. Eth said
Right.
bots is John from GPI, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Eth said oh cool.
I don't see the 10-year fighting it. It could totally happen. Oop.
Bot said it would be, that's why I'm just going to focus on that 16 level for now.
Yeah.
Bot said with that 15 to 17 supply area I mentioned earlier.
Right.
Eth said hey John. Does it cost to get your daily emails with your chart levels?
No, you just go and you sign up on the website and you get it. Hmm. We did get a significant buy there in ZB. I didn't notice that big jump there until just now.
Bot said no, just send a request to have your email address added to the list.
Here, I think this is the link.
Heath said under the sign up page.
Yeah.
Bot said gpitradinggroup.com.
Oh, you could just do the contact. Okay. He's saying just use this.
Heath said okay, great.
Use
Thanks.
the gpitradinggroup.com/contact and you put your email and comment in there. Oh, IHT says, I'm looking to give a fade a try on ZN at 26.5 if volume doesn't power through that level. Ah, but that means that you do think that it's going to get there. Because that's kind of how I'm leaning right now. And I haven't taken a position just because I don't see the right entry. And the rabbit is up now. Yeah, it's interesting that. Okay, so now that 25 is looking weak because of what just happened there in ZN. Or sorry,
Bot
ZF.
said I took the free sign up page off the site. The list had grown to over 600 people.
Ha, there you go.
Bot said exactly.
Maybe you should look at Patreon. Okay.
Bot said thanks.
Okay. That takedown looked like it was driven more by ZB. See, it could get a long 25 here, probably. But I'm just still not. I don't know. Where did we get out at again? 45. Oh, we need to refresh this. There we go. It won't tell me. But I made 6 ticks and it was 21. So 1, 2, 3. So I got out 24. Okay, 25 fell too. I don't know. I mean, we come down like 2 ticks, but the level 2 hasn't really changed. Though it's interesting.
IQ said, John, I was wondering how come it took you this long to show up here. LOL, person with folded hands.
A little bird probably told him that we were talking well of him on the stream again, and he decided to pay us a visit. I really like John. He's a good guy, so. And really good levels. No, they're gonna fell 24.5 now too.
IQ said make sure ZB goes to 16 1584 waiting.
No, it's kind of looking like she wants to take it up now. She's just kind of sitting there up at the top. It looks like they're hitting that supply. Yeah, we'll close up. So, for you guys in YouTube, any questions or anything before I go? I feel like right now in the note that, well, in all the treasuries that we're kind of hitting some supplies, so we may touch that 16. I think there's a pretty decent chance of us touching that 16, but I'm not really sure enough to want to make a trade off of it. And then in Bitcoin, I mean, good grief. Okay, so there was this. Let me just make Bitcoin really big here so you guys can see this before it goes. So here was the big rundown. We ranged a little bit. We came up now. I guess we did make a higher high. So the sell-off in Bitcoin might be over. We actually are buying it here. You see here how there was buy. So it looks like maybe they're actually making money right now on Bitcoin. But yeah, oh, and I gotta post the I'll just wait here, see if there's any other questions while I post the Patreon. Yeah, we'll do it in Chrome. This seems to work better in Chrome for some reason. Okay. Okay. All right, so for the subscribers, if you go to Patreon, you should be able to see the charts updated today. Don't really see any other questions, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Just take a, well, actually, we got to do our review first. Okay, so we took one trade. We came in. We saw that they were buying. We took it at 210. So we probably could have taken it right when we got in and saw that buying those market orders before, or, sorry, those block orders before we came in. So probably could have gotten it a little earlier. And then of course I got out at 24 and it went that 3-4 ticks higher. So probably could have held that, although I think that it was fair to get out at that one. I mean, could have taken that one, could have taken that one. So overall, not a bad trade. Not perfect, but pretty good. All right, so I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna look at oh well, last thing, I'm thinking really hard about buying some Bitcoin Cash today.
Below said yeah, talking plus 3T and going back to bed. See you guys Tomo.
Balo's going to sleep, huh? Gotta help my wife is making weighted blankets, so I'm gonna go help her make weighted blankets. But before I go, I wanted to say I do like where Bitcoin Cash is, and I'm thinking about buying it. So I just wanted to put that out there before I do it, because I don't want to be like, I want people to understand what I'm doing, taking positions. So since I'm posting that. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow.